Today I'm going to review The Legend of Hell House. The Legend of Hell House came out in 1973 and is a gothic supernatural horror film. It was directed by John Hough, the same director who did The Twins of Evil for Hammer Films. The screenplay was by Richard Matheson and it's based on his 1971 novel Hell House. The novel was set in the US, however the film screenplay is set in England. Although not a remake or a sequel, it has many similarities to the classic film The Haunting from 1963. The music was by Delia Derbyshire and Brian Hodgson, and they use an electronic musical score for the film. Pamela Franklin, who stars in this film, was also in another classic horror film, The Innocents, in 1961. The film cost $2.5 million and runs 95 minutes. Michael Gough was uncredited in the film. He plays a character near the end of the film that's died and is sat in a chair, and he has a couple of recorded lines during the film. The movie was filmed in West Sussex and Oxfordshire. The DVD came out in 2001 and the Blu-ray in 2014. The film stars Pamela Franklin, Roddy McDowall, Clive Revill and Gayle Hunnicutt, and Michael Gough in uncredited cameo. So the plot of this film's similar to the classic film The Haunting from 1963, which happens to be my favourite horror film of all time. So this film has a lot to live up to compared to that one. So although it's similar, it's not exactly the same though, especially the ending's totally different. So you get four investigators investigating this haunted house. I love the line where it says it's the Mount Everest of haunted houses. So it's a man and his wife who organise the investigation, and they bring in these two psychics. One's played by Roddy McDowall, one's played by Pamela Franklin. So this film's in colour, whereas The Haunting was in black and white. So this film loses the atmospheric quality of the black and white photography. However, it's still a great film. I like the location that was used for the film. I thought the house looked brilliant. The exterior of the house, really atmospheric, especially when there's a foggy mist outside the house. And because it's a confined film with just really four major characters and one location, the acting has to be top notch. And in this film it is, all four of the cast's great. I especially liked Pamela Franklin. I thought she was excellent in this. She plays the psychic who has a bit of a bad temper as well. So I thought she was really good in it.
Barry's inside me. Even as I'm speaking to you, I can feel him just waiting in there to take over.
And of course Roddy McDowall was excellent. Hey Phil, that's that bugger out of Planet of the Apes. Yes, he was Bones. He was in Planet of the Apes.
Hello, Roddy.
His character was in the house 20 years ago and he survived it, and he's got memories of what happened all them years ago. And his character, you can tell, is scared, and that's good. It makes the audience scared because he's scared. So the audience knows something's really strange about this bloody house that they're in. I thought he was really good.
Murder, vampirism, cannibalism, drug addiction, alcoholism, sadism, mutilation.
How did it end?
If it had ended, we would not be here.
At times maybe a little bit OTT, but I thought his character was really good. Clive Revill plays the investigator who organises the psychics into the house. He plays like this no-nonsense, crusty type of guy.
Both were disasters. 8 people died. Fisher was the only one who survived. And when he crawled out, he was a mental wreck.
And Gayle Hunnicutt plays his wife, who gets possessed. And she turns into this, like, vixen type of character who's wanting to shag Roddy McDowall. Hey, bloody hell, she's bloody begging for it. Get the bugger shagged. Bloody dense bastard. Yeah, you're right there, Bones. Richard Matheson wrote the screenplay based on his novel Hell House from 1971. And he's wrote loads of brilliant stories, like The Incredible Shrinking Man. Straight away the film starts with this disclaimer. The film, they use this strange machine that sucks the energy, the psychic energy from the house, and they try to cleanse the house by using this machine at the end. The film also uses dates and times, which is used to good effect. It's similar to what they did in the Amityville Horror from 1979. That film used the date and the time. The director, John Hough, he uses extreme close-ups as well to good effect. And he also does some great dark spots where some of the film's really dark. Even though it's not in black and white, it still uses shadows very well. And he's a good director. He did the classic The Twins of Evil for Hammer and some other horror films as well. He's a good director. The score of the film's interesting as well. It's electronic. It sounds unusual and different. Unfortunately, I think the last act's a bit of a letdown after a great build-up. The use of a machine to drain the psychic energy from the house. It's a great concept, that. It almost turns a supernatural film into almost sci-fi territory. However, the machine looks really dated. So this film's crying out for a remake. It would be great if they did a remake of this film. I don't like remakes usually, but this one would be interesting if they used more up-to-date technology. One of my subscribers suggested that Mike Flanagan would be a great director to do a remake, because he's done supernatural stuff for Netflix, and I think he would have done a great job doing a remake of this film. But even though it has a few flaws, I thought this was a great underrated film. The film hits all the spots that I love. Supernatural horror, this great house. However, I wouldn't class it as good as the films The Haunting and The Innocents. Them films are better. With it being supernatural, the black and white photography works great for the story. Them films are better than this one, but this is really good. I wish the film would have been a bit more subtle in places. It does go a little bit OTT in places. Whereas The Haunting and The Innocents, it kept a subtle tone. However, I still think it's excellent, and it almost gets top marks. So out of 10, I'd give this one a 9. 9 out of 10. What do you think, Bones? Did you like it? I thought it was bloody excellent, Phil. Top marks. This is how horror films should be made, with bloody atmosphere. Bloody special effects and gore. Okay, everybody, bye. Like, subscribe and share. Bye. Bye.
Well, he can't stop me.
Who the hell do you think you are, you bastard? You might have been hot stuff when you were 15, but now you're shit. You hear me? Shit!